Hi everyone, welcome back to Learning Bridge. I hope you guys are doing good and staying safe. I'm back again with my new video. Our guest for this session is Mr. Praveen Rana. He is working as software engineer in Microsoft. Before moving forward, I would like thanks to each and everyone for all the love and support. We are about to hit 1K subscribers. Miracle! 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 So if you are new to the channel, तो जो नीचे रेड कलर का बटन दिख रहा है ना, प्लीज उसे दबा के तोड़ दो. Guys, watch this video till the end because Praveen's journey may inspire many of you. In this session, he has discussed about his journey from TCS to Microsoft, how to prepare an interview pattern of Microsoft for front-end development, responsibilities and skill sets required to become a front-end developer, important frameworks, micro front-end, and important topics for internal projects. And guys, Praveen is also running a YouTube channel, 𝗎𝗀, where he creates videos on different interview topics. So channel link is in the description. Just check out the channel and subscribe too. So without wasting time, let's jump on to the session. Hi Praveen, welcome to my channel. And first of all, thank you very much for taking your time for this session. So let's start with our session. First, I would ask you to just introduce yourself and how has your journey been so far in the IT industry.
Hey, Shashank, thank you for having me here first. So I started with the TCS. There I was working as a Angular developer. I was initially started with the front end and then I just keep going into that field. Then I moved to Pramati. I worked there for short span, but that is really interesting. But then I have to move towards the north side. So I moved to Paytm and I worked there for like 1.5 years. And then I moved to Microsoft in December 2019. So for the journey, it's so I have a great interest in front-end development from the beginning of my career. So I just stick to the field and then keep on moving to the, if I'm getting any better opportunity, I just grab that opportunity and then move into that particular field.
So let's move on to our next question, Praveen. So share your interview experience with Microsoft, like how many rounds are there and what is the difficulty level, such kind of stuff.
Okay, so Shashank, for the interview process, actually I explored about the Microsoft interview process for quite some time, and there are two kind of process it will take. So let's say if you are going for the drive, then it will be kind of different, and if you are going through a referral and directly going for a particular team, then it will be different. So let's say if you are going for a drive, then there will be 4 rounds. Let's cover that first. So the first round will be your again your DS Algo, the problem solving skills. Second will be your technical efficiency, whatever your technical background is, they will be asking questions regarding to that. Third will be again one system design round. And so system design round comes to those who are having the experience, more than 3+ years in the industry. Otherwise, it will be same as the DS Algo, and again they will be grading your problem solving skills, your DS Algo and the algorithms. And the fourth round with the hiring manager, that is kind of bar raising, I would say. Like in other companies, we have this round as the bar raising round. So what they will do in here, that is, there is no particular path defined to this particular round, bar raising. They can ask you anything, like they can ask you the problem solving again. They can ask you from your technical background. They can ask you the project you have worked on, or any system, any problem they can ask you. So that is quite vast. You can't say that they will be asking this particular kind of questions in that round. So that is only the one round, and that will be taken by a senior person that will be having like 10 to 15+ or more than years of experience in the industry. Let's go to the second thing, which is when you apply through the referrals. So let's say if somebody asks me to refer from a particular team, then that person will be called. The first round will be, they have to go through a Skype interview or the Teams interview, so that they can verify that whether we should call this person on site or not. Okay. So that will be the factor on the basis of which the team will decide. And just after, let's say if you just go through that particular round and you cross it, then you will be calling on site. There again, there's only one difference in this referral round and the drives. You have to face the machine coding round in this particular one. So I will again just give the rounds name. The first round will be your machine coding. The second will be your problem solving. Third will be your technical efficiency, be it front end or your back end. And fourth will be your system design. And again, the fifth one will be with the hiring manager. It can be anything: problem solving, system design, or your projects.
Okay, Praveen. Like, thanks for sharing your experience with Microsoft. I think this is going to be really useful who are preparing for Microsoft interview.
Yeah, I mean, we can get the questions in comment section if I will be able to answer those.
Yeah, sure. So let's move on to our next question. What are the roles and responsibilities of a front-end developer?
Okay, so for the front-end developer responsibility, I would say that they have to basically they have to connect with the two teams. First is the design team, and the second is your backend team, as well as the product manager will always be there, so that they are the ones who bring bring your requirements for the particular software or the product you are working on. So the front-end developer will take the designs from the design team, and then he will do your complete coding, be it in HTML, CSS, any JavaScript framework. So front-end developers are basically responsible for creating these visible pixels on the browser when any users open that particular software or the product.
How deep you guys involved with backend team?
So let's say, I mean, that is very common to have the data exchange with the backend developers. So they have to work together to complete the product. So let's say if you are doing one authentication problem, you are working with the authentication problem. So you are the one who will be taking the input from the user, and then you will be passing that input, the username, password, to the backend team, and they will do the extend functionality. So the backend team is quite involved in this. The validation and everything can be done on the front end too, but the involvement of backend is for everything almost. For every, they have to expose the APIs, and then you have to work accordingly, like whatever the product requirement is.
Okay, Praveen. So let's move on to our next question. My next question to you is like, what are the technical and additional skill sets that are required for a front-end developer? Okay,
so again, so for being a front-end developer, there are two levels, I would say. The first is your senior dev, and the second is your junior dev. For junior developers, you must be knowing the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, as well as you have the good hands-on on the problem solving, the data structures, and the algorithms.
Okay.
But when you move to the senior dev, which is I expect like the 3+ years can qualify for that particular position. So you must be having more skill set than the junior dev. So what I add on those skill set are basically your HTML, CSS, JavaScript, any particular JavaScript framework, be it React or Angular, your web performance, your security, the web accessibility, how your page renders on the browser.
Okay.
साला इतना प्रेशर कुकर जैसे फील कर रहा हूं मैं.
And the common skills which must be having in both the junior dev and the senior devs is your problem solving and the basics of system designing. Like these are basically the must for these are the skills based on which you will be called an engineer basically.
Okay. So let's jump on to our next question. Like, given the advancement of tech stacks, what are the new capabilities and libraries are available in the market which you think a front-end developer should know?
So basically the new technologies, I would say I never focused on that, because see, the trends, they will come and go like on every year. Some libraries will come, they will get the hype, even it's because of the marketing or some sponsorship, they will get the hype, and the student should focus on the things that what are the current demand in the market. Let's say if we consider at this moment the React is the best thing to learn for any developer, for any front-end developer.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say just keep your basics clear and learn one particular framework. I never faced this problem. Expect 1 or 2 companies, they will ask that you are not having the experience in that particular framework or the technology, then we won't hire you. So you will never face this particular problem, but just keep your fundamentals clear, as we explained in the what are the skills required for junior and senior dev on the upcoming web technologies. So the first thing is the micro front end. This is basically, as we have the microservices in the backend side, so we can separate our front end also into separate small front ends, so that it won't be having dependency on each other. much dependency on each other.
Okay.
The second thing is web components. These are growing really well, and I think it will be quite adaptable in some coming days. Apart from that, if you are good with JavaScript and you have you have built some projects on that, then you can move towards the TypeScript also.
Okay.
That is also really adaptable in the market at this time. Yeah.
Okay, Praveen. Thank you so much for letting our viewers know about these technologies. So let's move on to our next question. What is the basically difference between UI and UX designer and a front-end developer?
Okay, so for the UI and UX designers, what their profile says that they have to understand the product and then create the designs for that particular product. This research can involve like how they will make the better user experience when the user interact with their softwares. Let's say consider the app for consider this Swiggy app. So the designers for that Swiggy app will be taking like how they can make easy for the users to find the food items or list the particular restaurants. So this basically how easy your product interact with your customer is basically comes under the designers part. So they will be working on they will be researching on how they can make better and better user experience with the customers. So this is basically the most I would say that this is the part which is covered by the UX designers. After that, converting it into the pixels and converting and make it available on the your browser. This is or the mobile application. This is the functionality or the responsibility of the developers. Let's say for the mobile app, it is for the mobile developers, or for the web, it is for the front end along with the back end. Yeah.
Okay, Praveen. So let's move on to our next question. This is, I think, an important question to be answered. Like during face-to-face interview rounds, how do you approach to solve a front-end design question?
Okay, so let's go for the machine coding round. That is, that is really important interview process, and that is in most of the company that is the first round and can be a elimination thing for you. I got eliminated in that round once, so I know that.
Okay.
So what you can do, for the companies like be it for Microsoft, be it for Flipkart, be it for any other product-based companies, this will be your first round. And what you will be given a problem statement. They will be designing the APIs for that particular round, and there will be always a different product to be built. But to cross that round, you can keep few things in mind. Like your code should be quite modular. Like it's not like that you have written everything in a particular index.js file and then created that application.
Okay.
So it should not be like that. That is the first thing. Second thing is the correctness and the completeness of your solution. Like how correct your solution is to the product they have given you to complete, and how correct is your functionality is. The completeness and the correctness of the product you have built with respect to the product they asked you to build. So that is the second point. Third thing is which mostly people don't focus much. That is your visual ethics, right?
Okay.
So mostly what I have seen that developers don't focus much on the CSS or the layout thing of that particular product. They will just focus too much on the functionality. They just make it performance efficient and everything. So that sometimes gives the negative impression that you are not focusing much on the CSS part and the beautification of that particular product. So that thing developers should keep in mind. Fourth thing is the technology choices. So you when you are appearing for the machine coding round, they won't be allowing you to use any framework for building that particular product. They want to test your fundamentals. That's why in the previous questions I was more emphasizing on learn the fundamentals first, not any particular framework. So again, let's say if they ask you to build a solution using JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. So even if you are using JavaScript, which version of JavaScript you are using? Is it ES6? Is it ES7? So that also plays a great role. Like this guy is keep on updating himself or herself for building the solution. So that again plays a great role. And the next point is how better you are understanding the problem they have given you. Let's consider an example that they have asked you to list the shoes based on the API they have given you. So and then clicking on that particular tools, you will be showing some detail and some again functionality. So you have to go through the problem statement once or twice to completely understand that particular problem. It should not be like this that they have asked you to build something else and you have built something else. So so that thing also need to be focused a lot. So these are basically 5 points which developers should keep in mind in order to cross the machine coding round.
Okay.
Yeah. So second thing is UI designing round that goes for the basically the system design. It mostly happens in the interview process. It happens in the third or fourth round. What you will be asked that how you will be building a this application. For me, I have faced this, that how you will build the Facebook application. So they are at that moment they are not focusing how you are how you are writing your HTML, CSS. You will be given one. I mean, you have to solve it either on the whiteboard or the paper pen. So you now at this round you have to more focused on what are the scenarios you will be covering on. How you, let's consider the Facebook example, like how you first the users, I mean the developers should define the scope they will be covering. Let's say I will be covering the authentication, I will be covering the profile, I will be covering the feed, and it should be more interactive with the interviewer. It should not be like this. You are keep on asking yourself that these are the points I will be covered. Just keep on asking the interviewer that these are the points I am going to cover. Is there anything you want to add, or is there anything you're missing? So the developers should more focused on make it more interactive with the interviewer. That plays a beautiful part in crossing that particular interview. Going forward, let's say if you started that, just keep on asking the questions. Let's say if I pick the authentication part first, so just keep on asking the interviewer that are we going in the right direction, or is there anything you want to add on this, and just keep on telling him that I'm keeping these things in my mind, so that he can also contribute while solving a single problem. So in these round, I think the developers should more focus towards how they are managing the performance, how they are managing the accessibility of the application, how they are managing the multiple sessions, and I mean these things will be really fine. But the straight point is you have to be more interactive with the interviewer and just keep on asking the questions, keep asking his feedback or anything you are solving.
So let's move on to our next question. So what do you suggest to the aspiring students, like what kind of topics they choose for their internal projects in the domain of front-end development?
That's really good question. So with respect to the learning perspective, I would say they should not directly, because I did that mistake. I know that you learn something and then you just go and start building something new from the scratch. So don't do that mistake. First, try to replicate one product which is already built. In that process of building that particular project, you will learn a lot of stuff. Let's say if you have learned the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and any framework, try to build something like which is already built, which is, let's say, with Facebook, the basic, not on that scale, obviously, for the basic part of that, like how authentication is working, how you will be, focusing on the feed of the user, how you'll be managing his profiles. So in this process of creating that replica of that product, you will be learning a lot of stuff. After that, you can move on creating your personal projects. Then you won't be facing that much difficulty. Otherwise, what will happen that you started creating your project and then you are started facing problem, and then sometimes you lose motivation and then you just drop that particular project. I faced this, so I'm just sharing that. So don't do that mistake. And for the ideas, I have few if you want to implement. One is library management. That is for the, obviously, for the books. You can make the you can make it more interactive for your college or the university you are working in. Using any framework, and then you can also ask them to implement it. So this is how you can add these side projects in your resume too. This works really well. Second thing is that was one project in my mind, that is authentic mobile review system. So currently we have one or two websites for that, but they are not, their UI is not that much good. I feel it that way. So you can also working in that space if you want to create something of your own. Again, and if for the learning perspective, just replicate any product which is already built.
Okay, Praveen. So I'll wrap up this session with a last question. That is like, this question is for everyone actually. So how do you basically keep yourself motivated in your day-to-day job and in your domain?
So for my day-to-day role which I'm playing, so the most important thing is we are actually working on something which is which is never built earlier. So this thing that we don't know much into that particular product, it really keeps me going on my day-to-day life and the product which I am working on. When it comes to the motivation, I won't lie that I mean it will be a lie if you say that you are always motivated and you are motivated like 365 days in a year. So that is that doesn't work like that. You will be having some hard days where you don't feel like working at all, even be it your personal or your professional things. So but the key factor is you should always be learning. It should not be, let's say if you feel demotivated at one moment, just take some few breaks like 1 or 2 days, refresh your mind, and then come back again your learning schedule or your daily life to working schedule. The second thing is which motivates me that in our industry, let's say if you are at this moment, and again if you see ahead of yours, you will be again a lot of things to learn, and you don't know even the 5% of that. So that is basically the thing which keeps me going. And when I look backwards, the things which I have covered is basically helping someone to achieve the path they want to go for, is basically again a motivational factor for me, that you can help someone.
Okay, Praveen, I mean, it was really nice to have you on the channel, and I think our viewers will find it really useful. I mean, especially who are basically planning to switch in tech giants like Microsoft and Amazon, Google. They will find this session really helpful, like how to prepare themselves for the front-end development and what needs to be learned. So yeah, again, Praveen, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your time.
Yeah, thanks, Shashank. Thank you for the session. Happy to help.
That's it for today's session, guys. I hope you guys liked the session with Praveen. If you guys liked it, then subscribe the channel, like and share the video with your friends. Comment down the best part of this video and share your questions in the comment box for next session with Praveen. As I already said, if anybody is interested to deliver a tech talk, then please reach out to us. We would be very happy to feature you on our channel. Till then, stay tuned and stay safe.